My 25 girlfriend, 26, bought a motorcycle, and now she expects me to ride 2 up behind her first. Sorry about my English. I'm not a native speaker. About 2 years ago, my girlfriend expressed the desire to ride a motorcycle. She enrolled in driving school and almost immediately bought a motorcycle with which she obtained her license. I supported her completely and also financially. The motorcycle was partially a gift from me. Last year, she went on many rides alone or with other bikers she met on some internet forums, and sometimes she tried to ride with some of her female friends as pillion. Now that the warm season has arrived, and she's been riding for almost 2 years, she has started asking me to go out on her motorcycle together. I told her that I have no problem with her riding a motorcycle, but that I find it embarrassing to ride 2 up behind her. We started arguing every day about this. How do I make her understand that in 2024 it's still a big stigma to ride behind a girl, and that I don't feel like doing it? Update. About a month ago, I asked for advice and received few but heavy criticisms. You were right. I admit that I didn't react in the best way. Your comments kept me up at night, and the next day, I decided to talk to my girlfriend. Actually, I wrote something false. Not that it changes much, but I'm 34, and she's 35. I also left out an important fact, something that not even my fiancé knew. In the country where I grew up, you have to be 18 to drive a car, no exceptions. But from 14 years old, you can ride a small moped. Everyone has at least one moped in the family. In my high school class, in my country high school starts at 14 and ends at 19. I was practically the only one who didn't have a moped. I'm not joking. Both my father and mother had a moped, but in their opinion, a moped was too dangerous for a little boy to ride. When my friends and I went out in the evening, I was the only one who had to be picked up by my parents. The others were all on their own mopeds. When I was 16, I was at a classmate's birthday party. When the party ended, I saw my mother arrive to pick me up with her moped. Apparently, my father had fallen asleep. She didn't want to wake him, and she didn't want to drive the car, so she came to pick me up on a moped. I was livid, but have no choice to leave with her. This completely destroyed my teenage life. My nickname became Moped Boy, Mama Boy. Girls laughed at me, and boys made fun of me and bullied me. My social life was reduced to a few occasions, and the last 2 years of high school, 18 to 19 years old, were spent in total solitude, since even on the few social occasions, I was still made fun of. I met my girlfriend after university. Fortunately, she came from another city, and she didn't know anything. I told my girlfriend about my story. She remained silent, and then hugged me. The following weekend, we went to the beach. She insisted to sitting on a bench in front of the motorbike parking lot. We counted, and of the couples who arrived by scooter or motorbike, 1/3 had the woman in front and the man sitting in the back. Maybe it was a bit of a silly experiment, but it worked. She tried to pick me up for a small ride, but we found that riding an R3 with a 6', 160 pounds passenger is a bit difficult. We briefly looked around, and 2 weeks ago she managed to swap the R3 with an Himalayan. Last weekend, we took our first little trip on our own. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted from my soul. My girlfriend finally asked me if I want a motorbike too. I thought about it for a few days, but I think I'm happy like this. My girlfriend seemed happy about this. Thank you all. I, 23, found out 7 months ago that my boyfriend, 26, has been cheating on me, but I haven't told him I know. I found out while he was away for work. A girl he slept with sent me a DM on Instagram. She told me everything and even sent pictures. I remember staring at my screen, my heart pounding, my hands shaking. I felt like my entire world had just shattered. I didn't even respond, LOL. I just sat there, drowning in a pain. I finally understood what meant to have a dagger to the heart. Anyways, I made a decision I wouldn't confront him. Instead, I grieved and mourned our relationship like it had already died. I've been with him for 3 years. I thought everything was going perfect. I didn't see this coming at all. That entire week, I was alone, cycling through every emotion imaginable. And this might sound crazy, but there was a part of me that almost needed to feel the pain. Like I was clinging to it, letting it consume me. This may sound emo, but it felt good. I can't explain it, but I felt alive. Maybe this is borderline masochistic, but whatever. This is how I wanted to cope. Meanwhile, the girl kept messaging me. More pictures, more details, receipts LOL, and even videos. It just got worse and worse. It turned into taunts and cursing. It felt like she was desperate for us to break up. But I never responded. Instead, I kept reading her messages over and over, torturing myself with the truth until at some point it didn't hurt anymore. I started to feel numb. He was still himself, sweet and caring and affectionate. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have suspected a thing if that girl didn't DM me. He would sometimes catch on I'm acting off, and I'd blame my hormones or stress from work, and he would buy it. I pretended everything was fine, and he would have noticed something was deeply wrong if he wasn't busy cheating. I think it also helped we got along very well as roommates and friends. We were still having sex. He was a generous lover. Too generous even, and it helped bear with it all. I lied, saying my implant fell out, so we began using condoms, and I got myself tested regularly. Thankfully, I was clean the whole time. I eventually started seeing him as someone I lived with, and we just happened to have sex. It took months. But one day, something inside me shifted. Like the love I had for him started fading. I went through every stage of grief. Now I feel free and lighter. I know I can live without him, and that realization is the most liberating feeling. This is the craziest part. Everything I once found beautiful about him started to look distorted. I started to see his flaws. It was like I was under a spell, adoring and loving this man, and now when I look at him, I'm like, how? LL. This week, I'm moving into my own place, and I'm finally breaking up with him. I'm mentally checked out, and I'm at peace with myself. I am okay. I feel a sense of dread, but also relief that I will finally break up with him. It took 7 months to finally get over him. I don't know if I'll tell him that I know he cheated on me, or just say I don't want you anymore, or just ghost him. All I know is I'm breaking up with him. Update. I finally moved out early in the morning, right after he left for work. It was his place, and I didn't have much to begin with, so the move was easy. I'd been slowly filling up my new place over the past month, getting everything ready so I could leave without a hassle. A lot of you suggested I ghost him, but I couldn't. That's just not me. I don't like disappearing on people, even when they deserve it. So instead, I came back that evening and waited for him to get home from work around 7 p.m. I was nervous, but also kind of relieved for it all to finally be over. When he walked in, I was sitting at the dining table wearing my coat. He immediately sensed something was off. He asked me where I was going, and I told him, home. He laughed and said, "But you are home," clearly trying to play it off, but he could tell something was up. Then I sent everything I'd been collecting, screenshots, videos, all of it to his WhatsApp. He looked confused and asked why I was texting him, and then he opened the messages. I watched the color drain from his face. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I did. He went pale, breathing heavily, and just placed his phone on the table, staring at me like I was a ghost. I didn't say anything, just watching him. Then came the begging. He grabbed my hand, apologized over and over, said he didn't mean to cheat, claimed he ended it 3 months ago, that she meant nothing, and how much he loves me and wants to marry me. I told him, we're never getting married. It's over. And I didn't say anything else. That's when he broke down crying like a child. I was honestly disgusted. I stood there watching him on his knees, clutching my legs, begging for forgiveness. And I felt nothing. No sympathy, no sadness. Just done. I was completely checked out. I didn't want to say much to him. I just felt numb and it felt pointless. Eventually, he turned into this emotional, sweaty, sobbing mess. When he went to the bathroom, I grabbed my last backpack and left. It's finally over. I'm grateful I don't love him anymore. It was an unconventional way to get over someone, but it worked for me. Thank you for all of the kind messages. Edit. He texted me from a new number and sending me pathetic messages. I posted on my account. This will be the last time I'll message you. Please hear me out before you block this number too. Natalie, I'm sorry for all the drunk messages last night. One shouldn't have blown up your phone like that, but even now, with a clear head, I can't stop thinking about how easily you shut me out. It's honestly hard to believe the way you've switched off It's Cold, babe. And that's not you. That is not the person I knew. You used to feel everything so deeply, care so hard. And now you're just gone. No emotion, no fight, just silence. It hurts a lot, babe, like I meant nothing to you. You've always been gentle, empathetic, forgiving. And now it's like I'm talking to a version of you I don't even recognize. You're too kind, too pure-hearted to come up with this. It honestly feels like your friends have been in your ear, turning you against me, feeding you this coldness, convincing you to cut me off. They've always been jealous of you. They never had a man that would love them like you did. Who would fight for them like I am for you? Because I refuse to believe that the Natalie I knew, my Natalie, could just go cold like this without being pushed. No way. It doesn't add up. Please think for yourself. You know how much I love you. Besides this mess, we've always been good together. You're my best friend. We've been there for each other through the hard times. It hurts. Not only it's my fault I'm losing the love of my life, but also my best friend. Lastly, I just wanted to say I'm sorry, Natalie, for everything I did, for cheating, for lying, for all the pain I caused you. I truly hope you find peace. I'm not going to message you again. I'm choosing to let go with grace. Ope, LOL. Even if I didn't get the same in return. You made your choice. And as cold as it was, I respect it. I deserve it. And I just hope one day you look back and realize I owned my mistakes while you just ice me out instead of working through it. Remember, I wanted to fix this. Still.L. Wish you the best. Take care and know that I always love you.